Well, we're headed into spooky season, and this month of the budget was pretty spooky, especially as it relates to the net worth. So let's just jump into it. Hey guys, if you are new around here, my name is Marissa, and here on my channel we talk about life and money and how you can enjoy life and still accomplish financial goals through the use of a budget. And I share my personal household budget here on YouTube. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So this is the budget template that I have set up in Excel. And actually you can get this budget template on my shop. I will go ahead and leave a link to that in the description box down below. It's an instant download, works in Excel, Google Sheets, all the platforms, and you can check it out there. So the income section that we have here first, we have Jacob's income. This is my husband, Jacob. He is a W-2 employee. He works in marketing, and so he brings home a paycheck. And here in our budget spreadsheet, I have what his take-home pay is. So this is after taxes, insurance, 401k deductions, like all of those kinds of things. And then we have business, which is, I need to just update this in all my months going forward, but this is my income. So I have my business here on YouTube, and so I pay myself a salary out of my business for our household. So we budgeted that we'd bring home $8,224, and we actually brought home $8,274.07. So our household is made up of 4 people: my husband, Jacob, myself, our 2-year-old son, Peter, and our 3-month-old son, Jack. And so you'll see how we spent every dollar here in our budget. But one thing I do want to address really quickly, especially if you've been watching these videos, is that you may see some other things blocked out. So I've always blocked out our individual incomes, but I'm now blocking out some more things just for privacy. I actually stopped sharing these updates over the summer. I was kind of taking a maternity leave because I had my son Jack, and kind of just refreshing of like how I wanted to share this online, because I do value my privacy, and I do have 2 small children, and just value privacy. So I've kind of cut out a few things, and you'll notice that being a little bit different going forward, but I still want to share some details with you guys. So let me know what you think about this format if you've been watching these videos earlier, and let me know what you think and if this is still helpful for you, because I want to make it helpful for you, but also want to still respect some privacy parts. So let's move into the next section of the budget. So this is a zero-based budget, which means all of our income equals all of our money out with expenses, debts, and savings. Now, we do not have any other debt besides our mortgage, which you'll see here. So we don't have a debt section, so just expenses and savings. And if you are new to budgeting or you want to get started with budgeting, I actually have a course called Budget to Your Dream Life, which walks you through everything you need to know about budgeting and how you can use a budget to be able to work on your financial goals and still enjoy life along the way, which is so important. And you can do all of those things through a budget. And so I want to help you get your budget set up, ready to go, so that you can manage your life and finances in that way. And I will leave a link to that course down in the description box below, and you can check it out there. And also as a freebie, you get this template included for free. So that's a great little bonus there. Okay, so the expenses. First off, we have our tithe, African New Life, and missions. So we are Christians, and we believe in tithing and giving to our church and other organizations. So that's always going to come first in our budget, but I do have that blocked off for privacy. Next we have is mortgage, and we have a mortgage payment of $2,206.28, which is our standard. So we own our home in Portland, Oregon. We bought in September 2019, so we've been here for 3 years. We have a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home, and it's our perfect little starter home. It's great. So this is our entire payment of our principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Next we have is the HOA. We live in a neighborhood with a homeowners association, so that's a standard $121.46. Next we have is water sewer. This ended up being a little bit higher than what I budgeted for. So we spent $107.47 on water sewer this month. I assume that it's just a little bit higher because it's been in the summer. We've been, watering the lawn, things like that. So just a little bit of an increase, but typically it's right around like $95 to $100. That's like, it's always within that $5 range. Next we have is natural gas. Now this was a bit lower, and that makes sense as well. So I budgeted $40, we actually spent $19.83. So natural gas is what we use to heat our home, and we also have gas cooking and like stovetop and oven. So it's very minimal here in the summer because we're obviously not running our heat. Next we have trash, and we pay our trash every other month, and so this month was not a trash month. And then electric. This one was higher. I budgeted $70, but we spent $130.94. This was our highest electric month of the year because we have central air conditioning. We have a newborn in the house, and so I want to keep it at a good temperature in the home. So that was a little bit higher this month, $130.94. Then we have internet, a standard $44.99 each month. Next are our phones, which was $115 for mine and Jacob's cell phone. Then we have our insurance, which is $122.17 for both of our cars. We have a 2018 Highlander and a 2013 RAV4. Next we have is life insurance, and we have that at $52.89. We have a term life insurance policy on myself and my husband Jacob, and that is just another extra expense that we have there. But it's very important to have life insurance, especially when you have a family and people who are going to rely on your income if you were to die, and term life insurance is definitely the way to go. We are huge fans of term life insurance. So $52.89. Next we have is groceries, and so we actually spent a little less than what we budgeted for here. We budgeted $450, we spent $389.24. And before you're like, Marissa, how do you spend so little on groceries when you're like a family of four? Okay, first off, the baby only eats milk, so he's free for food right now. So this is all of our groceries that we have for like staples for the week and fresh produce and all of those kinds of things, as well as like Costco runs. But we also do HelloFresh, and we've been using HelloFresh since the beginning of the year, so for like 9 months now. We took a little bit of a break when my son was born because life is crazy and we didn't want to make all these meals at home. Instead, we like pre-made a bunch of freezer meals, like Instant Pot dump and go meals. So we did pause HelloFresh for a little bit, but we're back to doing it. So I've been a huge fan of HelloFresh, and I actually did a video about like the cost breakdown of it and like whether or not I think it's worth it. I'll leave a link to that video up above and you can check it out. But I've really enjoyed it, and I feel like it is worth the cost because groceries are also so high right now that it's basically like the same thing. We are eating healthier, we are making new recipes, adds more variety to our meals, learning to cook. Like, it's been a huge plus for us, I would say. But all that to be said, the reason why our groceries are then lower is because I've shared about HelloFresh here because I do enjoy it, and I have a referral link, which anyone can have a referral link, but with that link, someone who signs up gets $150 and I get $10. So for everyone who signed up, I've gotten $10 towards HelloFresh meals. So thanks to everyone who's used my link to sign up. If you want to check out HelloFresh, I'll have that link down below. You could get $150 to start, and you can pause or cancel at any time. Like I said, I paused it for a bit while we had a newborn and we were just doing freezer meals. So that's an option as well. There's like nothing that you're like locked into, but we've really enjoyed it. Okay, next moving into eating out. We budgeted $150. We spent $265.16. Eating out is crazy. So this month of September was the last month that my husband was on paternity leave. We had a baby in June. He had 16 weeks of fully paid parental leave, which was amazing. And as I'm filming this video, this is the last night of his leave. It's 9 o'clock at night. And this is, last night. He goes back to work tomorrow. And it's been amazing. So we've tried to like utilize this month of September to like soak it all up. We've gone on some dates and done things like that. Earlier, like last week, we went out to brunch, and we like my favorite brunch place, but we spent $50 on brunch for just the two of us because eating out is so expensive. And at this point, it's like, is it worth it to eat out? I don't even know. So it's so expensive, and we were way over budget this month, and that was not great. Not great. Next we have is gas. This was a plus for us. We budgeted $175. We only spent $81.77. This really all depends on when we fill up, and we only had to fill up like once this month. My husband does work from home, so even when he goes back to work, he's still going to be working from home. And then I stay home with my sons and also like work on my business. So we don't have any commute. This is just like getting around town, so our gas is a bit lower, but gas is so expensive. I saw that today it's now $5.35 at Costco here in Portland, Oregon, which is crazy. I know California is even so much worse, but it's bad. Okay, next we have is fun. We spent a lot of money on fun this month. We budgeted $50. We spent $245.93 on fun related things. I added in some like Halloween kind of purchases that we made here. We bought like my son's Halloween costume, got a little Halloween gingerbread house, and some other things in there. Oh, we also went to the pumpkin patch. So that was a cost, like an entry fee to get into the pumpkin patch. So there were definitely some fun things that we did this month. Again, trying to just soak in this last month that we had of like full parental leave. So we really enjoyed this month of September, and our budget shows it. So we were way over on that, $245.93. Then we have miscellaneous. We budgeted $100 and we spent $171.75 on additional miscellaneous things. That's a lot. Okay, next, moving into Peter's school. So my son, Peter, does go to school 2 days a week, and he loves it. It's been great for him. It's been great for us. And again, I work, so having a little bit more time to get some things done. It's also been great over the summer. He's still gone, and therefore I'm able to have more time with the baby, which has been really great as well, of this like maternity leave. So anyway, it's all good things, but we obviously do pay for that, and I'm keeping that private as well. But that is an additional cost that we have in our budget. Next we have is Roth IRA. So we had a goal this year to max out 2 Roth IRAs, one for my husband Jacob, one for myself, $6,000 each. We are also contributing to my husband's 401k, what he at least needs to get the employer match. But we're trying to do like 15 to 20% into retirement. So far this year, we've been on track of over like 18%. But you'll see down below here, we have more of a goal right now to increase our emergency fund. So right now I've kind of paused putting to the Roth IRA because I want to build up our emergency fund savings. Now that we're a family of 4, there's a lot of economic uncertainty right now, and we just want to feel a bit more secure. So there's nothing wrong with increasing our emergency fund a bit more. So that's what we're focusing on right now. So Roth IRA, we didn't put anything to this month. I do have, I think like $3,000 left to max out my Roth IRA for the rest of the year. So I'm hoping that I can do that later this year and get that done. But for right now, I just want to increase the emergency fund. Next we have is college. So we're putting $200 a month to each kid's 529 college savings plan. That's just auto drafted out of our account, so $400. So here you will see our total for expenses. We budgeted a total of $52.17. We actually spent $55.14. And so we spent almost $300 more than what we budgeted for in expenses. And the reason why, like the Roth IRA in college, like those are obviously savings type things, but that's money that goes out of my bank account. So that's why I have that in the expense section. Next, we have our savings section, or the sinking funds. So let's take a look there. The first thing is our emergency fund. Like I said, that's our big goal right now. So we're kind of putting every extra dollar we can towards the emergency fund. So we were budgeted $11.37, and we had to reduce that down to $7.91 because of that. So here's another thing that I'm changing going forward for these budget update videos, and I hope that this can be like a happy medium for me to feel more secure in my privacy, but still be able to share these videos with you guys, is I'm blocking out the beginning and ending balances here. Because before I would show like how much cash we then, had, and I just don't want to do that anymore. So I can show you guys how this template works though, because how I have it set up is really awesome. So this will take, I'll look at the next one here, down here. So this takes what the beginning balance was for the month, which you can just copy and paste over like the last month's ending balance. You copy and paste it to this month's beginning balance. And then I add in what we actually put into that fund and then subtract out what was spent. And that's the new ending balance. So that's how this spreadsheet works. But so here, like this shows then how much is in our emergency fund. Maybe I'll share like when we have completed this emergency fund goal. But a great rule of thumb is between 3 to 6 months of necessary expenses in the emergency fund. And we want to be more on that higher end right now just because we have a family of 4. I'm also self-employed. So there's just some more factors that lead us to wanting to have like a higher level emergency fund. So that's what we are working on right now. Next we have is Jacob. So Jacob gets $250 each month of personal spending. He spent $405.87 this month. And so that was a lot of money. Next we have is mine. I get $100 and I spent $104. So I went in, what did I do this month? Oh, I bought myself a new pair of Hunter rain boots that were really cute, getting ready for fall and being outside in the rain with my boys this fall. So spent money on that for myself. And the reason why I get less is just simply because I don't like to spend as much money, as you can tell here. So I just don't feel like I need that much more to spend. Next we have is extra giving. We put $50 into it and we spent $9.89. Then we have extra like gifts for things like birthdays or baby shower, wedding, like those kinds of things. Put $50 into it. We didn't spend anything this month. Then we have clothing. We put $25 into, and this is more like necessary clothing for myself and Jacob. And we spent $50 on clothing this month. Next, we have this vacation and Christmas. We're not putting anything into those right now. Not for vacation because we have 2 small kids and we are not planning on going on any vacation anytime soon. So we're just holding off so we can put as much as possible to the emergency fund right now. And then for Christmas, we actually are going to be funding most of Christmas with our credit card rewards. So we have a credit card with USAA that gives us 1.5% cash back. And so we've been saving up all that cash back through the year. And then in December, we'll cash that out and I'll use that as our Christmas fund to spend on gifts and everything. When I look at that, of how much money we have in Christmas savings, like with that credit card and having it be 1.5% cash back, it's crazy how much money we've spent on that card, but that is basically the card that we run everything through. I use credit cards responsibly, pay them off in full every single month, and you shouldn't use a credit card any other way. But it's been great to get those benefits, and hey, it's gonna pay for Christmas this year. Next we have is medical. So we put $500 into it and we spent $817.55. So I had a baby in June, which is obviously an expensive medical situation. And so we've had bills from that are still like coming in. And we do have a high deductible health plan, which is paired with an HSA. But this year we are planning to invest everything towards the HSA and not touch it, and instead pay for all medical expenses out of pocket. So it's felt like a really expensive year because we've been putting all this money to the HSA, but we're not using it for medical because we really want to utilize that triple tax advantage of putting money in before taxes, then investing those dollars and having it grow tax-free, and then we'll take it out eventually to be spent on qualified medical expenses. I've saved all of the medical receipts that I've had because of spending money on medical expenses this year, but we are paying for it out of pocket with this sinking fund here for medical. Next we have is cord blood registry at $31. We did cord blood banking with my son Peter, so that has an annual fee. This is a really great way to use sinking funds by taking that annual fee and dividing it by 12 and saving that much each month so that when the annual fee comes due, you have the money set aside. Next we have is dues and subs, which is the same thing, but for other like smaller dues and subscriptions that we may have, like the Costco membership is going to renew soon, or our car registration, like needing new tags, like those kinds of things. Next we have is car maintenance. We put in $75, we spent $33.88. Then we have house maintenance at $400 and we haven't spent anything. We dodged a bullet this month on something house maintenance related because our washer broke this month, which is so inconvenient to be out of commission with a washer when you have 2 small children. But it ended up breaking. We did not get the extended warranty. We've only had this washer for 2 years and we've loved it, but just like all of a sudden it stopped working. The one thing that was covered under a like just regular warranty was the motor for 10 years. And guess what broke on our washer? The motor. So everything's going to be fully covered for parts and labor, so we're not gonna have to pay anything. But for a minute there I was like, oh, we're gonna have to dig into our house maintenance fund to cover that fix on our washer, but thankfully, nope, it's all gonna be covered. Next we have is household. So we put $100 into household and we spent $65.48. So this is for things like paper towels, soap, detergent, like just supplies that we'll use up for the household. Then we have kids. I've initially budgeted $250, I actually put in $350. We spent $352.10, and the reason why this was a bit more was because I got some fall clothing for Peter, so I kind of spent a little bit getting those fall outfits ready. So I added just a little bit more to that fund so that we wouldn't be like negative there. And I like having this as a sinking fund as well because then it can roll over month, because some months, like not every month I'm going to be buying him clothes, buying the kids clothes. And so then some months will be lower, some months will be higher for what we spend for the kids. But roughly about $250 to maybe $300 a month is what we spend between the 2 boys. So all in all, we are planning to put $3,006 to sinking funds, and we actually put $27.59. So here's the total out, which is taking the expenses plus the savings. And if we had debt, it would also take that. And then I have this cell down here that's the difference should be 0. So making sure that we have a zero-based budget. Like I said at the beginning, all of the income should equal all of that money out. So this calculates the difference, and that is 0. So we're good to go there. Now let's take a look at our net worth update. And I have this a little bit different as well, with just that privacy in mind, but I still want to show that to you guys. And I know this is a bit more private, but I'll do what I can. Okay, so your net worth is made up of your assets, or the things you own, minus your liabilities, or the things that you owe. So kind of in the same regard of the beginning and ending balance, I just take the ending balance from last month, copy and paste it over for the beginning balance of this month. I just have this blocked off for privacy. But retirement, we put some money into retirement this month. I will tell you that we lost quite a bit in retirement this month of September. You probably did too. But I'm not going to say we fully lost it because we didn't cash it out. It's just been a decrease here, and because we haven't cashed out, we're not locking in any losses or anything like that. But it is crazy to see our retirement balance is now what it was, I think, over a year ago. Yeah, it was like last spring. And we've consistently been putting money into it. Like I said, 15 to 18% of our household income has been going into retirement, and we're now at the level of what we were almost a year and a half ago, which is crazy. But we're just letting it sit there. I'm 28, my husband is 30, he turns 31 tomorrow, and so we have the time and we're not worried about that. Next we have is our house, and again, have that blocked out, but our house value also did go down this month. I just look at our house value according to Zillow, and just that gives me some sort of basis. And yeah, I'll just spoiler, that did go down as well. Next we have is emergency fund, what we have in cash there, as well as extra cash that's made up of our sinking funds. And then our HSA, like I said, we have that invested, so we put the money into it this month, and then I got invested. I do have a Robinhood account with a few single stocks. And then we have our Highlander value and our RAV4, which I take the value from Kelley Blue Book for those. And total assets here, we are now at $740,588. That went down $14,000 this month in assets, mostly between the house and retirement. Next we have is our liabilities, and that is what we owe money on. And like I said, we don't have any other debt besides our mortgage, so here's our mortgage balance. I can't really block that out because that's the only debt we have, would be our only liability. So that is $378,848. And so our total net worth is now $361,740. So our overall net worth went down $13,330, which is crazy. But I know it's going to go back up. I'm not concerned. I know it'll go back up, but definitely is not fun to see because we hit, over a $400,000 net worth in the spring. And then here we are now. But yeah, that is that. We lost 3.5% of our net worth this month. So that is our overall household budget update for September and net worth update. Let me know in the comments below, how did your budget go this month? And also let me know what you guys think of this new format. I hope that this can still be helpful for you while still respecting the privacy that I feel like I need to be able to keep sharing this. So hopefully that is helpful. And thank you guys for being here and sticking around. And I know I haven't shared these in a few months, so thanks for sticking it out with me so that we could share it again. Don't forget that you can get this template on my shop. I will have that link down below, as well as my budget course, Budget to Your Dream Life, where you can learn everything you need to know about creating a budget that will last and help you to be able to enjoy life and accomplish those financial goals. And with that, I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.
Life is a winding road,